Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the AM Silver Bullet on Halloween, October 31st, 2023. Alright, so before we start the 10 o'clock hour here, let's turn on the Kraken Silver Bullet indicator, the Pro version, and we see the New York Midnight Opens right there. Previous day high is right here. Here's the 830 line right there. So we're kind of in between the two. And let's see what session liquidity is around here. Let's turn on Asia. See if it's even in this range here. Where's Asia at? Asia's right there. So do we take out Asia already? So don't really care about Asia. London, I'm sure it's been taken. Well, at least the high's been taken. Here's the London low. How do I have the high turned off? I do. See? There's the high. Turned on. London high has been taken, so I guess we can turn it off. Turn on the Killzone here, New York Killzone. All right, so there's the low, there's the high. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so let's zoom in here. Okay. You can see the London low. All right, so now we have our liquidity. Let's just see what is going on here with price action. Okay, so we're starting here. Here's the low. So ideally, we'd like to see this get taken and then target the high, right? There we go. All right, so we do get that taken out right there. Let's see if we get a market structure shift. For me, I'd want to see this high broken with displacement. Okay, I don't want to see it just like that displacement. Okay, so let's start marking this out. Market structure shift. We have fair value gap right here. We have another fair value gap right here as well. Oops, right there. Okay, let's just see what happens here. Okay, we're just rapidly going up here. Okay, I'm still targeting the high here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the fib from high to or from low to high here. Optimal trade entry we've got right here, which is in this fair value gap, so that's what I'd be targeting. There's another fair value gap right here as well. It's just under equilibrium. But ideally I want to have optimal trade entry, so that's that one. This one's actually below optimal trade entry, so I'd want to have a stop below this one if we could. So ideally I'd be targeting this fair value gap for OTE. Why am I not taking this fair value gap right here? Okay, I know someone will ask it. Hey, that worked out right there. It's above equilibrium. Ideally, not always. Would I take this trade? No. I want an optimal trade entry here. I want to see a bigger pullback for right here, ideally. If it came in here and worked out, I would have missed it. I just would have missed it. It's not an aggressive move down. It's just kind of a lethargic kind of down. I'm not taking that trade. I'm not taking it along there. It's not happening. And if you go into OTE, you're going to violate a lot of PD arrays, just so I'm going to show you here. Okay, so now this becomes an inversion, right? Well, just an inversion fair value gap, right? And now it comes up, and you can take it to go short if you want. This would be an inversion fair value gap, right? and we're in optimal trade entry. So if it hesitates over here at all, we'll be able to take a trade here. I don't like just putting a limit order right here because you could very well just cross right through. I like to see some kind of hesitation, and so a doji candle there for a minute is good. That's good as well. And that's much more hesitation. See that? Three minutes hesitation right there at optimal trade entry. So I'm going to buy one there. So buy one there, and I'm going to target here. Okay, why am I going to target there? Well, I'm going to pull a fib manipulation leg, right, from low to high, or the manipulation leg. That's the swing high that took out liquidity here. That's the manipulation leg. And 2 standard deviations is right about even with this relatively equal highs right here, right? And ES loves to go right here to between 2 and 5 standard deviations and consolidates before it'll go higher, or it'll go consolidate and then maybe it'll retrace. Sometimes it'll blow right through it. You know, it has, but there's usually some kind of reaction between 2 and 2.5, and this is just way too clean right here. You mean you have this high here, these highs right here. I mean, you have a lot of liquidity resting right up here. So low hanging fruit right here, and then that right there is 16 handles. I'm perfectly fine with that. Could I target this up here? Absolutely, 100%. I think you're going to have a little bit more resistance going up that high because you have a lot of liquidity resting right here. There's just 4 highs that are just way too clean for me, right at the 2 to 2.5. That's, you know, almost, you know, probably 2.75. It's still close enough to 2.5. And this high right here, those are clean as well. I just think you're going to have a big reaction around here. So my first target, low hanging fruit, I'm happy with 16 handles. Okay. So I bought one there. Let's just see how this plays out here. Okay, so doesn't care about those inversion fair value gaps. They meant nothing, obviously. Okay, so we can put these back over here because they meant nothing. Okay, notice we have a fair value gap right here at equilibrium, another fair value gap right here. Taps into that equilibrium right there. Could have taken another entry right there if you wanted to. All right, so flatten right there. We're at 2.5, and let's see what price does now for the next. See if it gets the New York Killzone. See how it retraces, got to the 2. Like I said, between 2 and 2.5, it likes to have some kind of reaction. So low hanging fruit, take out these relatively equal highs, we do, and now we're retracing a little bit. I still expect the Killzone to be high, the Killzone high to be taken. Might take it here. I don't know when we take it. I'm just going to show you when it gets taken here. It's close, close, it's close. And there you go. So at 1 o'clock, 1:03. So it's still, if you had it targeted here, you could sit through all of this to get there. But for me, those 4.5 handles, or what was it, 5.5 handles, aren't worth all of this, especially in the apex and a trailing drawdown. There's no way. So I took the low-hanging fruit, which is right here, expecting a reaction at the 2, 2.5. Can you weather it? Absolutely, but you're expecting that reaction. Okay, so let's take the long position off. All right, we came to the silver bullet hour, and we saw that the New York Killzone low was taken. We waited for a market structure shift. We marked out our fair value gaps, and price just kind of ran without us. It stopped, creating relatively equal highs here, and then started dropping down, right? It violated a couple PD arrays. We expect that. But we pulled our fib from high to low, or from low to high, rather. And we got our optimal trade entry area, and it overlaps with the fair value gap. Love it. What else does it also overlap with? Breaker block. Okay. So you have a lot of reasons why optimal trade entry, a breaker block, fair value gap, all that coincided right at one spot as it's coming down, and price hesitates right here, gives you two or three entries. Love it. Take the trade. A lot of confluence right here. Where are we targeting? All these relatively equal highs right here. We pulled our fib from the low to high for the manipulation leg and got two standard deviations right, pretty much lined up really close within a tick from these relatively equal highs. So there's a lot of liquidity above this high, above this high, above this high, and above these two highs here. Even a little bit above this high. So, I mean, you got a lot of highs here that there's liquidity resting right here. We just want the low-hanging fruit. That was 16 handles. We took 16 handles, and then it started retracing down. Now, if we were aiming for the opposite liquidity like we normally do, you would have had to sit through all of this, and you still got there. I know for me, I wouldn't have sat through that. I would have taken a exit out of here. So for me, I've been looking at low-hanging fruit by the manipulation leg and trying to get easy wins and get out of the market and be done. I don't want to sit through all of this to get 5 handles. No, thank you. Okay, so that is your silver bullet for Halloween, October 31st, for the AM silver bullet using the Kraken Silver Bullet Pro indicator.